Was right.
Well, Sam Darnold's not, despite the rumors and reports, going to be a Minnesota Viking. As we predicted, he has a market. Seattle's the leader in the clubhouse. Pittsburgh also interested. Sam's only 28 years old and has not had a lot of injuries. And he's coming off a massive season. He can move. He's got a big arm. He's a playmaker. I think of all the quarterbacks on the market, he's the best version. And there were reports for 3 weeks the Vikings were interested. I didn't think that make any sense. I thought they were trying to do him a solid within the organization to show everybody, hey, Sam's great. We're considering re-signing him. And I think in the end, it never made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't think that's what happened at all. Because when you listen to all these other insiders, they weren't trying to just do Sam a favor. They were trying to get him still for his cheaper. They wanted to keep Sam, but they did not want to give him what the Seattle Seahawks gave him, because now they're also interested in Aaron Rodgers. They're still trying to figure something out with Daniel Jones. It's really interesting to see what the Minnesota Vikings, what the grand plan is for the Minnesota Vikings. Especially when you see how aggressive the Rams have been. The Rams are running it back with a tremendous amount of continuity and stability, and then adding someone like a Devontae, like it really makes a lot of sense when you see what some of these other teams are doing to continue to be competitive. And the reason why I bring up the Rams, because obviously the Rams beat the Vikings. They just point blank, man, just beat them, and it wasn't even particularly close. And I know Vikings fans want to just be like, oh, well, that's Sam. If we had a better quarterback, like I don't think that was the case. There was fundamental issues, that were exploited. So, to me, the question remains for me is what are the Vikings doing right now? Like, what is their plan? They have a roster that I truly believe could win now, especially with a few tweaks. Is J.J. McCarthy the quarterback that's going to be able to do that? Because again, look at the Rams. The Rams have now a win now roster as well. And they're like, well, we're running it back with Stafford. And then we're going to try to, upgrade, here and there. And then boom, we're right there. We're in it. We're a play away from the NFC Championship game, which is then a play away from getting to the Super Bowl, which is a play away from winning the Super Bowl. So it's just interesting to me that there's so much meat on this Minnesota Vikings team, and what are they doing to take it to the next level? I don't know. I don't think, especially considering that JJ McCarthy was injured and now he's playing this following season. Again, I think JJ McCarthy in the long term will and can have tremendous success with the Vikings, absolutely. But I also think that multiple things can be true, that you also have a roster that is ready to pop right now, and that J.J. McCarthy in this moment in time may not be the quarterback to be able to do that, especially when you're now going to be going up against other true seasoned veterans that have a lot of winning experience under their belts. And that is going to be the Lions with Jared Goff. That is going to be Stafford with the Rams, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Jaden Daniels already now has another, he's got that year head start now. He's already played an entire year. So, it's the things are kind of stacked against him. So it's always kind of tough when you have such a great team and a young quarterback, because then there's this disconnection with timelines for all these players. Again, Justin Jefferson's not trying to go through, growing pains with a young quarterback. He's just it's not what he wants to deal with, and when you have a team that was as good as the Vikings were last season, there's a lot of belief of what you can accomplish. And so if you come up short with that, there's frustration. It's kind of why the Commanders with Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix with the Denver Broncos was kind of so perfect, because those were two franchises where just anything positive, anything that was even close to being in the right direction was a massive success for them. In a weird way, the amount of success that the Vikings had is now putting so much more pressure on J.J. McCarthy to be like, hey, look how great this team was. We won 14 games, right? Like, now anything that's like shy of winning 14 games is a step back. just making the playoffs, which once upon a time, just making the playoffs with your first year starter as a quarterback is a massive success. That's like, great. Let's go, baby. Now it's like, well, hey, like the pressure and what the expectations are so high. And yet it still seems like the Vikings still don't want to give the reins to JJ just yet. And that's where it's still suspicion. That's where I'm still trying to figure this all out. Where I'm just like, what is the story here? What are they trying to do? You hear all these reports, and again, it was Sam Darnold, it's Aaron Rodgers, like Daniel Jones, and so it's just like, what is the actual plan right now? Because it's just, yeah, I mean, if you have a good enough team, it's hard to imagine that a first-year starter coming off an injury, coming off a lot of not playing football, and now he's going to enter in the NFL, that you're going to be able to just lead that team to 13, 14 wins and a playoff win or two. It's a harder thing to see because we know JJ McCarthy is going to have his ups and downs. Just look at how amazing Jaden Daniels had, and he had his ups and downs. So it's all but a guarantee, and he's older, Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels, so they got more experience under their belt. So I don't know what the messaging is for this team, what they're looking to accomplish. Are they caught between two different timelines that, hey, you know what, we got to just kind of work and develop JJ, or hey, you know what, we have a lot of guys that are ready to win now, we got to give them a chance to win. We don't got time for, to help develop a young quarterback right now. We got to play. Let's go. So I really don't know at this point, especially because Sam Darnold was, signed with the Seattle Seahawks for a pretty cheap deal, relatively speaking. It's like $50 million guaranteed, and I think 100, like little over 30 million a year. I mean, like that's an absolute steal for a quarterback, an absolute steal. And so, yeah, I'm still just gonna kind of obviously continue to wait and see what this grand plan is for the Vikings. But as of right now, it almost feels like they're caught between two worlds, between a win right now and acknowledging, hey, you know what, if JJ starts, yeah, we can obviously have success, but we would not have as much success as we would if we had a truly established veteran quarterback, because there's obviously going to be a lot of ups and downs and learning curves with JJ, being a rookie. So yeah, I'm curious where this officially falls. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Minnesota Vikings officially moving on from Sam Darnold? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.